Good morning, folks. How you doing out there? Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome back to Noth Farm with James and Rosa. And this morning is a harvest day, so we're in the vegetable garden picking the last items to go into our veg boxes. Our CSA members will be coming to the farm in just a couple of hours to collect their boxes. So we've got a nice amount of veg going in today. This garden has definitely had its struggles this year, but so great to be getting veg to put in the boxes. So as we outlined in last week's vlog, we had some time away from YouTube. Great to read all your comments welcoming us back. Thanks for all your concern and well wishes for our garden. It has been a tough year. The weather, the pests, the potting mix, the bindweed ridden compost that we've bought in for our no-dig system, these have all contributed. Not one of them has been the main reason that we've had a tough year. They've all contributed in making it a bit of a struggle. But great lessons that we've learned from all of that. For those of you who want to support us just that little bit more and have the means to do so, you can join Team Tap over at Patreon and support the production of these vlogs. Bindweed. If you watch the previous vlog, number 69, you'll see us moaning about this bindweed. And we discovered we've imported it in our compost. You can see how we're dealing with it.
This is some red Russian kale that we've planted months ago, and it hasn't really grown very well. Partly because of this, we think the compost and the weather at the time of year when we planted it. But basically we've added quite a lot of like goose manure and feeds and things like that, but it's still, even though it grew in quite a funny way rather than a single stem that we're used to cracking the leaves off, and we banned that. Lots of little leaves and then some big leaves, and it just didn't grow how we would like to harvest it. So I've cut it all back and sorted through it. We've got a bag of kind of stir-fry kale for this week, and then I've cut everything right down to ground level. I'm going to see how it regrows. So it kind of looks like the bed is empty now, but it's also a chance to weed it and spy the bindweed. So I found a few bits of that. So I'm going to get that out, and then hopefully the kale will grow back before it gets a bit colder. And it's a great one to last through winter, so fingers crossed.
Very pleased to say that the carrots have finally caught up and are growing well. These guys didn't have the best of starts in life. Our first sowings were made over in a different plot, and the terrible weather that we had in early spring just put an end to those. So I quickly had to make a second sowing and did 3 beds of carrots here. But the goats tried to put a stop to that and escaped from a nearby grazing cell, and I came out to see them standing on these carrot beds. They nibbled some fruit trees, they nibbled some fruit trees, and they also trampled about on these carrots. Luckily the carrots didn't have much greenery, so it was more just the trampling which caused the problem, so I had to sort all that out. But yeah, amazingly these guys are doing really well, and it'll be another week or so before we get some carrots. This bed here in particular has grown the best. This is what I like to see as a bed of carrots, quite dense sowings. We usually sow between 5 and 7 rows of carrots within a 75 centimetre wide bed. The reason being, just after a month and a half of weeding or so, we can stop weeding because the carrots form such a thick canopy. They stop the sun getting to the soil as much, and of course stops the weeds from growing. That helps keep moisture in the soil as well. So really great way, bio-intensive form of gardening, and we can thin them by pulling smaller carrots at the start of the season. But because we used the Jang seeder, or push powered precision seeder, actually the carrots are pretty much at the spacing that we want. But yeah, this is good. I'm pleased with the carrots. I can't wait to start crunching on them.
just took the goats up to the north field and I saw kind of Heather's chest, so just between her two front legs. I thought something was caught on it, but actually it was dried blood, quite a bit of it, and lots of flies. So I just had to do a bit, yeah, I've just gathered all of the things I think I might need.
Medical supplies.
Yeah. I don't 100% know what this is because I'm going to need James to help me hold Heather so I can have a look, but we try and go with as natural as possible first and foremost. So this is the first round in case, if it's serious then well, I'll take it a bit further, but as it is, if it's just a graze with some flies going for it, I'm basically just going to be cleaning it up. I've got some water in here, just plain water. I've also got a kind of spray with tea tree in it here. So I'm going to use those to clean it out with just some tissue here. I've got some gloves for my hands because I'm not sure if there's going to be maggots and stuff. Anyway, so that's, yeah. And then I've got iodine, which really helps to keep a wound clean. And I've got three things then to go on it that I want to help I want to simultaneously keep it clean, stop flies going in it, and help it to heal as quickly as possible. So I've got zinc oxide powder, which I've been using recently for like teat issues and stuff. I mix it in with the udder cream that I make, and that was like pseudo cream. That's the main, one of the main ingredients in pseudo cream, which everyone knows. So that really helps to heal, zinc oxide being something that helps skin heal really quickly. And so that'll make that into a paste, probably with some of the kind of tea tree spray, the liquid. And then we've actually got a bit of wound powder here that James got way back when he had the cows, and that's got various other healing things in it. So just gonna bash it all on. That's the good thing about the kind of slightly more natural organic stuff, because you can just yeah, kind of combine things, and it's none of it's too heavy going. So that'll be our first round. I'm sure it won't be as bad as it seemed like it was earlier. I think it was just all the flies, which made it look a bit gross. But we'll see. That could be why she lost her collar. She could have been trying to have a good scratch, and so we might find it at some point. Plan is I'm going to get some gloves on. I've actually just lost all the bucket of water I brought up because Helly drank it all just now. Oh, and Heather's just finished that off. Alright, I'll get you some more water in a minute. First things first is getting her collar on.
Not the easiest place to check on her.
God, it's red raw. Have a look.
Yeah, you got her?
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
Okay, that was actually a bit impossible. The other goats are way too interested, and Heather's obviously not really feeling like us prodding around in there. It's quite sore. It almost looks like a burn. It's basically a layer of skin has come off. We're not really sure why, but to look at it more closely, I think we're gonna maybe need her in the outdoor stanchion or something. Heather's actually the worst goat for this because she gets out of every single stanchion we have if she wants to, which luckily she often doesn't, but right now she will. So we'll see how it goes, but we're just gonna bring them down for now. It's a bit easier. There's a lot of flies up here, which obviously doesn't help, so we'll get Orange just
Go on.
Right. Head torch would actually be quite useful. It's kind of, I don't know. It doesn't smell though. It doesn't smell, that's really a good indicator of what's, you know, going on with something. If something smells, often that's an infection. So it doesn't smell. That doesn't mean it's not an infection. But what looks a bit weird is, what I'm wondering is has it come off because of just an injury, which should be the best thing, you know, just by, well, I know, but just by kind of getting it caught on, maybe putting her head up on some barbed wire or something, like putting her feet up on some barbed wire and then scratching her chest or something. But if what would be worse is if she's got some sort of something where her flesh is kind of rotting a bit. This spray is mainly just tea tree. It's got some Epsom salts in it as well.
So Heather here, she's making quite a bit of a racket, but it's mostly because she can hear her friends over in the byre. Pretty sure she's not in a lot of pain, but she's complaining about being in the stanchion when it's not milking time and her friends are over in the byre, so she's going to be making a bit of a racket. Rose is just cleaning it up as best she can. She's got a good pair of lungs in it.
She does. I've got latex gloves on, partly for me and partly for Heather. I want to make sure that my hands, and you know, I've just been harvesting veg and I clean them as much as possible. It's good to be as clean as possible, but also I don't know what is going on here, so it's just better to be safe. Now I'm just gonna dilute a bit of iodine and dab that on. That's just gonna really sterilize the area. It's hard because actually this area is almost got quite a lot of folds of skin. Oh sweetheart, it's okay, good girl. And so it can be a bit kind of hot and sweaty there, which is why I'm slightly wondering. It doesn't smell like a kind of yeasty infection, but I'm just gonna wet that and then put a dab of this on, and that will dilute. You know, everyone will recognise iodine. You know, people put that gets painted around when you get surgery and things like this. It's often painted on the skin. Good girl. Good girl. Good. Oh, that's a good girl. So now I'm gonna just in my hand combine. Actually, first I'm gonna get the powder in my hand. So I'm gonna mix up this wound powder that we use. Smells weirdly like sherbet. I don't know. Looks like it as well. Doesn't taste like it, I'm sure. And then I'm going to put a little bit of zinc oxide powder, which is incredibly white. Yeah. I'm just going to try and make this into a bit of a sticky paste with the tea tree spray that I've been using. There. Now I can spread this on. Hopefully it's going to help heal the kind of raw wound a bit. Oh, good girl. It should also soothe it, should the zinc oxide. Oh, good girl. You're so good. To be honest, the tea tree in the spray should help if there's flies. They won't want to land on this anymore, and the iodine. And then I think, good girl. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That should dry quite soon and just hopefully just at least mostly stick on. Some might crumble off. And then tomorrow at milking, after I've milked her, I'm just going to make a zinc oxide paste, maybe with this again. Something really light, unless it looks like it's got worse. And I'll just keep putting the zinc oxide on every day after milking. Just a quick spread of the paste, just like pseudo cream. And that should hopefully help to heal the kind of raw skin there. So yeah, fingers crossed.
well, that's proving to be a bit of a busy morning. Getting stuff picked and weighed out to put in the boxes for our CSA members to come and collect their shares. Did a bit of scything of some of the market garden pathways. We've got a farm tour on Saturday, which is in a couple of days. So it's just nice to have all the pathways clear. Milked the goats, obviously, took them up to graze in the north field and discovered that Heather had quite a bad wound on her chest. So we had to have a quick look at that and see what's going on. She looks all right, but Rosa cleaned it up well and we'll keep an eye on that. So yeah, quite an eventful morning. But now we're going to be spending the rest of the day focusing on making tree hay.